What's up, Eagles fans? Welcome into the All-22 review. I'm Fran Duffy, and today we're going to take a look back at the Eagles' big win, Week 3 over the Washington Commanders, and really the story of this game, this Eagles defense. 9 sacks against Washington and quarterback Carson Wentz. How did these sacks came to be? Well, really a number of different ways that the Eagles were able to get Carson Wentz down to the ground, and it starts with winning your one-on-ones up front, right? And those one-on-one matchups, they can be had in a number of different ways. The Eagles found lots of different ways to dictate to Washington's offensive front. Let's get into some examples of how the Eagles were able to win one-on-one. All right, so obviously a lot of sacks happen when you have guys that can win their one-on-ones. The Eagles can dictate that with the use of their 5-man front. Now, Washington is in a 12 personnel set here, and they're going to keep both of their tight ends in to block on first down. So what happens here? Well, Brandon Graham's going to drop out. That means you've got 5 blockers on 2 defensive linemen. Fletcher Cox is left one-on-one alongside Hassan Reddick. Both of those guys win, and Fletcher Cox is able to get home for the sack. Very next play, TJ Edwards up on the line of scrimmage, essentially another 5 down front. Washington's going to slide the other way now. That creates the one-on-one for Javon Hargrave. And again, when you have those 5-man fronts, you can't double team everybody. You can't throw extra protection in one way or another. The Eagles are able to take advantage of those one-on-ones. That was all in the second drive. Later in the game, 4-man front now this time. The center is going to slide towards Fletcher Cox. That leaves the one-on-one for Javon Hargrave. He pushes the left guard back into the quarterback's lap. But look at Brandon Graham here, the hustle. He gets the sack fumble here. Javon Hargrave, who got the initial push, he's able to jump on the ball for a fumble recovery. Great job by those two guys here. Later in the game, another 4-man rush. You get a linebacker, TJ Edwards. He's going to insert as a blitzer. And again, just creates these one-on-one opportunities for the big boys up front. Brandon Graham's able to come through, nearly gets another strip sack, but gets his 2.5 sack of the day. BG showed up in a big way, but this defensive line was eating on Sunday afternoon. I've got a couple more examples of some of those one-on-one wins, but really I want to also talk about how you can have complementary rushes where it's not just everybody free-for-all getting after the quarterback. You're trying to work in tandem. Defensive tackles working with defensive ends. Your defensive ends don't want to aim for the same point in the backfield in every single play. I thought there were a couple good examples of exactly that on 2 of these sacks. Let's take a look. Defensive line is not just as simple as everybody just rush for the quarterback. Everyone's got to be disciplined, and you want complementary rushes, guys that are working together. Here you're going to see Josh Sweat win high side. Really impressive rush. This is the first third down of the game. He's able to get high side, force the quarterback to step up, and look at that wall that's created from number 91, Fletcher Cox. He's there to clean it up. Pressure starts with 94, 91, Fletcher Cox able to clean it up. Later in the game, 4th and 22. This is very late in the fourth quarter. Again, watch these 2 edge rushers work in concert. 94, Josh Sweat, he's going to work high side, and now he steps right up into the rush of 48, Patrick Johnson, who undercut the left tackle. Well, 94, he's going to get the sack there because it forced the quarterback off his spot. So again, all these defensive linemen working together to get the quarterback to the ground. And obviously, you have to give a lot of credit to the back end as well. The coverage, I thought, was really, really sound in this game against Washington, who had one of the best passing offenses in the entire NFL over the first 2 weeks. The Eagles did not give up a lot of grass at all in coverage. Really good communication, really good execution. Obviously, some sticky man-to-man coverage as well. But let's take a look at the back end on a couple of these sacks and see what the Eagles' back 7 did on some of those plays. These were some of my favorite sacks of the afternoon for the Eagles defense. 3rd and 5, and you're in dime personnel. 6 defensive backs out on the field. Washington's running one of their staple core concepts. It's the mesh play. We know this here in Philadelphia, and what you're going to see is Carson Wentz drop back. He's going to start to his left, but watch the pass off between Kaiser White and James Bradbury. That confuses quarterback Carson Wentz. He forces him to hold on to the football. These guys executed this zone match concept so well. That gives time for the defensive line to get home for a sack. Great job on the back 7, especially Bradbury and White. A little bit later, 3rd and 10, dime personnel. Eagles showing pressure early on this play. You can see a bunch of guys up on the line of scrimmage. Kaiser White mugging up. Marcus Epps looking like he's going to be pressuring. Nobody deep downfield. This is great disguise here on the Eagles' part because they drop into a man coverage situation, pure cover 1. Marcus Epps is the whole player, and you've got a single high safety in Kayvon Wallace. Look at the job Epps does. He's reading the dagger concept, and again, this is a big-time staple concept, especially on 3rd down. Bradbury, he knows this route's coming. He runs that dig route as well as the receiver does. The dig is taken away. Carson Wentz has to get to his 3rd option, but by then it's too late. You have a sack fumble here. Outstanding job from the entire Eagles defense, forcing the ball on the ground. That's a great team sack from the entire 11 on defense. So 9 sacks total in this game. The Eagles actually only blitzed on 2 of them, and one of them was a really creative one. It was in the fourth quarter. Linebacker TJ Edwards and rookie Jordan Davis very involved on this play. I thought it was worthy of its own breakdown. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this fourth quarter sack here. This one goes to TJ Edwards, but you got to throw in Jordan Davis as well because they're working a little game here, a little two-man game between Edwards and Davis. Edwards is going to go first. He's going to pick off the guard. Davis is going to loop back around. That's going to force Carson Wentz off his spot. And again, TJ Edwards there to clean things up. You've got Kaiser White and Marlon Tuipulotu there as well. Great team sack there from all 6 guys up close to the line of scrimmage. All right, so the sacks, obviously the big story of this game, especially on the defensive side. When you flip the script, you go over to the other side of the ball. DeVonta Smith, the second-year receiver, was outstanding. Career high in yardage here against Washington in Week 3. How did some of those yards come to be? Well, we saw a number of big-time plays where DeVonta had to finish at the catch point. His ball skills, his hands at the catch point, outstanding. That goes back to his days at Alabama. We saw 3 great examples of that in this game against Washington. One area where DeVonta Smith is truly special, finishing at the catch point. His hands, his ball skills, his ball tracking, all elite. And you can take a look at it here. Look at the ball tracking over the shoulder, looking it in through his eyelids along the sideline. Just a ridiculous catch, 40-plus yards along the sideline. Just an outstanding grab there from DeVonta Smith. A little bit later in the game, watch the route here. Great vertical route, avoids the reroute from number 2, gets the corner's hips flipped on the post route, and then watch him attack and finish. High points the football, climbs the ladder, comes down with the ball through contact at the 1-yard line. That is picture perfect there from DeVonta Smith. A few plays later, 4th and goal, 1 second left on the clock. What are you going to ask DeVonta Smith to do? Win on a corner route. He puts his hands up. He knows, hey, I'm one-on-one. I'm open. He comes down with this one. Again, climbing the ladder in a contested catch situation for the touchdown. DeVonta Smith, elite ball skills. A.J. Brown also catching a vertical play down the field, down the left sideline, straight goal ball, goes up and over the corner. I'm going to break down that play and also how plays like that can impact plays down the road in this game as well. Let's take a look at what I mean. The Eagles have established themselves as one of the best big play offenses in football through 3 weeks, and you see that here on this play to A.J. Brown. This is a straight go route. Safety's worried about number 2 receiver. This becomes a one-on-one matchup. Again, in zone coverage, A.J. just wins at the catch point. He gets the Eagles into plus territory, flips the field on one play. A little bit later in the game, this is first play of the third quarter. A.J. Brown, different formation, but he's working vertical. That safety's like, hey, we got to watch out for the vertical route. You see he's cheating. Well, now nobody's there underneath. That safety should be looking at the tight end coming from across the field. Grant Calcaterra's wide open. He's able to take advantage of the space given to him. He busts off a catch for 40 yards. This offense is humming when that vertical pass game is working. So we've seen some touchdowns from DeVonta Smith and from A.J. Brown. Let's take a look at the first touchdown in this game. Dallas Goedert, 23 yards, gets the Eagles the first touchdown of the afternoon. It came on a really creative play design. Let's break it down. Here's the Eagles' first touchdown of the game, and it comes on a screen pass to Dallas Goedert. Nice and easy, and again, just creating yards after catch opportunities. Not a lot of tight ends in the NFL can do what he just did there. 33 yards after the catch on that play. But how did it happen? Outstanding play design. The Eagles are going to fake tackle power here on this play. And watch how it affects the linebackers. You're going to pull Jordan Mailata from left to right. You got Boston Scott getting downhill. Those linebackers, they attack this. Fast flow. We got to make sure we respect the run. And look what this does. It creates some favorable angles for offensive linemen Jason Kelce and Isaac Seumalo. Both guys are able to get out in space. That leaves Dallas Goedert one-on-one with the safety. He makes him miss, and he's going to the house. Touchdown here for Dallas Goedert on a tight end screen off tackle power action. So all in all, a very dominant, decisive win. Really well-executed game plans on both sides of the football once again for the Eagles in this matchup. It all sets up a very critical Week 4 game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who should not be taken lightly. A lot of really fun breakdowns with this team. We're going to be getting into it all on the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, wherever podcasts can be found, or on Eagles Game Plan. Stay tuned. It'll be right here on the Philadelphia Eagles YouTube channel, all of the Eagles digital channels on Friday afternoon. So stay tuned for more of our All-22 analysis right here on PhiladelphiaEagles.com.